So this conversation needs to be had because the last, I would say like 2 years, I've noticed people have been changing, well, I want to say changing, but like waking up to their old belief systems and kind of moving into a new belief system and what people are calling a new age. But yes, this is a new age. But I wanted to talk about spirituality and this idea of waking up and why do you think that everyone, at least in this lifetime, will not wake up to the truth? No matter what you tell them, why won't they? And why do you think they're not going to?
Why they won't wake up to the truth?
Yeah.
They're not coded to wake up to the truth. I think everything has a code, and that's what you do, that astrology shit.
Yes, I do that astrology.
Yeah, that astrology shit. That astrology is that's your code. You know, everybody's unique, and nobody has the same code. Not even twins.
No,
You
they
know,
don't.
because you said everything comes down to like degrees and stuff like that, right?
Yes.
And I made a tweet the other day talking about that. Damn, what did I tweet? Oh, about the matrix. Like being aware of the matrix, doesn't make it possible to escape the matrix.
Oh, yeah, because people say, well, we're gonna figure out how to escape the matrix. Well, you can't.
Nah.
So whenever I ask questions, I know the answer.
The fact that you're aware of the matrix, that's basically what I was saying. The fact that you are aware of the matrix is a part of the matrix coding for you to alter the matrix, but you can never escape it.
No, you
You
can't
know what I'm saying?
escape it.
So, and that goes back to what you just asked. Can people wake up to the truth? Some will, some won't. I mean, even like ancient texts, like the Bible says that stuff. Not everybody will wake up to it, and this is not meant for them in this lifetime. And maybe they'll come back. Maybe that's what reincarnation is all about. Maybe coming back when you ain't figured things out. So figure
Yes.
shit out.
No, I'm asking. I know the answer. I'm always saying I know the answer to
What's
my
the answer
questions.
then?
But I'm
Shit, since you know it
asking.
all.
I'm not saying I know it all. I obviously understand with astrological birth charts. I can see that everybody is different. My question is why were people created to not wake up? Why are they even here? What is the point of an awakening if everyone's not going to wake up? Why create people? Why create a birth chart or knowledge of these things and not everyone's going to get it? Why do you think they were even made to begin with?
You mean like NPCs? That's basically what they be calling them, right?
Yeah.
The non-playable characters or the soulless ones.
Yeah. Why were they created? What's the point of them? Why?
I mean, I can go really deep on that. I think there's different types of people, different types of beings here. Not everybody's human, and the ones that aren't have to learn how to be.
Yeah.
And I think there's levels to this thing. You know, I think what's that? Dr. Blair said there's humans, there's mankind, and then there's godmen.
Are we godmen? The people who
I
wake
am.
who I am.
I don't know. You're a mixed breed. You
Are
might
you-
be like.
Are you
You might be
are
half
you
and half
saying
over
like
here.
people who wake up are godmen?
They're already woke.
We just had to like
Yeah,
go
you come
through
into
some.
this world already knowing, and
That's-
and then whatever I guess society you grew up in kind of alters your view and alters your original plan until you just remember your plan again. So you come in woke. The people that don't come in woke are the ones that discover spirituality.
Yeah.
We're already spirit beings. There's people that aren't, and they have to
Yeah.
discover it. And I
Yeah.
think that's what the Bible means too by accepting and breathing in, because that is spirit in ancient Hebrew is ruach, and that just means like wind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Breath. And those who aren't, I guess, necessarily hip to everything yet, they have to accept that spirit. And they have to breathe it in. That now to become, I guess, like a God man or human or mankind or whatever levels there is to it.
Yeah.
Am I making sense? Like you have to accept it, but there's already some that's already here that's born into it already.
Yeah.
You know, we're born into it already. There's a few that we have to teach on how to accept it and teach them how to go through this realm efficiently in order to move on to the next.
And that's the point of an awakening is to teach.
Yes.
What's the point of waking somebody up?
Or to teach them so they can move on. I think that this is like, I don't know what level this is, this realm right here. This is
This
level
is
one, level
almost the
two.
final
They
boss.
say we're like infants when it comes to spirituality.
It's
Like
on Earth.
this earth realm is one. Then what they said there's like seven
Yeah,
pillars or something like that
yeah.
going up or out wherever you want to go. There's a whole bunch of different theories on it, but it kind of makes sense though. Like,
This is low vibes.
yeah, this is carnal. This is the heaviest our soul and stuff is going to bear. These bodies are heavy, but our thoughts are light.
Yeah.
Air is light, it flows and stuff like that. So, like in your dream, you don't feel weight, do you? You
No.
don't feel heavy in your
Well,
dream.
well, if you have
You
like
might feel
a
a presence.
nightmare.
Yeah, in a nightmare, you might feel a presence or you might feel like something, but you don't feel your body
Yeah.
in your dream. You don't feel the
No, no,
weight
no,
of your
no.
body. Like you might feel sensations,
Yeah.
but you don't feel the weight of your body.
And
That's your original self.
you don't.
Exactly.
You
So
don't.
I'm putting you on something
I'm
right here.
thinking of. I dream
But
a lot. I've
yeah,
had a lot of dreams lately.
like
So
in your dreams, you might feel like you're running slow, but you don't feel the weight. You don't feel the impact
like
of things.
punching slow. You
Yeah,
ever
you
try
can
to
punch
punch somebody
slow.
in a
Yeah.
dream?
Have I
And
ever
it
tried to
goes
punch
like,
somebody
and
in a
it's
dream?
like,
So I had dreams where I whooped the shadow man's ass multiple times. Like he used to come torment me when I was a child. But when I started becoming of age, when I started becoming a man, got some hair on my balls or whatever. It was around 12. He came back in my dream, whooped his ass, yo. And then he left for a couple years, and I think I was like 14 or 15 or whatever like that. And he came back with some blue shorts on, but he was still Shadow Man. He tried to act like he wasn't
he's trying to
Shadow
disguise
Man no more.
himself.
And he's like, nigga, I know who
I
you
have
are.
blue
Come on,
shorts on.
get this work. Work this
So,
ass out.
what do
Then he
you?
never came back. But what was I talking about?
You got off tangent. I was just asking about. Oh, I just got off tangent.
Damn.
No, I was just asking about like what's the point of an awakening is to teach people and then why are we teaching them? And you're saying like because earth is like the bottom. It's the beginning level and we have to keep like kind of elevating and waking people up to go to the next realm or dimension or whatever it is that's after this.
Yeah.
And so I'm always just asking why. Like again, I know stuff like obviously astrology, everybody's different, and there's a reason why certain people come to me. Not everyone will, nor will I reach people at that level to where they feel like I have to do this. I hear it all the time from like really, popular, I won't say popular astrologers, but very knowledgeable astrologers who say like not everyone's even going to get, I would say, the privilege of having a birth chart reading like with an astrologer, not a magazine, not ChatGPT, but a real astrologer who can like touch their soul, their spirit to where that's literally the trigger of like the start of their spiritual journey. And then with that, I wanted to ask you what has changed like as far as the perception of yourself or the world whenever it comes to your awakening? Like what do you see yourself as like
Oh,
like what's different about the way that you think about yourself?
I guess, so I already came into the world feeling already, but now I'm just more aware of what I'm feeling, if that makes sense. I've always felt things, I always felt energies. People often say it's like putting yourself in somebody else's shoes.
Yeah.
That's why I connect with music so much because it allows me to feel and practice my feels.
Yeah.
Can I feel what this person is saying in this
Yeah.
song? That's why I like R&B or slower songs. It can be country slower songs, but I feel the pain in some of these people's voice, and I can tell whether they really wanted to sing it,
Yeah.
whether they really went through it, and how passionate they are about it. That's why I'm like, damn,
Yeah. So your
they sing. You
awareness.
ever heard a song like, God, that's so much pain in their voice.
Yeah.
So that it just enhanced my awareness of what I was feeling. Now that
Yeah.
I know what I'm feeling, I can kind of control it, turn it on and turn it. I can't fully turn it off. It's a part of my code.
Yeah.
There's no turning it off. It's being able to repel the ones I don't want to feel. Some days it's harder than others. There's been days where I'm driving and I just feel the weight and the emotional weight of
People.
the world.
Yeah.
And one day I had to pull over. I was driving over there on West Time, and I'm like, it was after work. I don't know why. I had a good day.
Yeah.
I had a good day at work, and I was driving. I don't even know if I was listening to music, but then I just felt like this heaviness. I'm
Yeah.
like, what is this? And it was an extremely sad feeling. And something told me that's what the world is feeling right now.
Yeah.
The actual earth is feeling right now, and what people feel.
Yeah.
And and it took a while for me to kind of control it and start to repel it. But for some reason, it turned on and it increased.
Yeah.
And every now and then, I still get that feeling of, okay, like you can handle that now. Now feel this.
Okay.
You know. So
Yeah.
that's kind of that's what it's done for me. I don't know what it's done for you. You might be like reading minds and shit.
Well, I think
I saw that
now,
crystal ball you put in that bag earlier too.
oh my gosh, people think like I'm a witch or something.
And you
No,
be wearing the mantanas on your
I
head.
think
And shit.
that's my crowns.
Oh, that's
I
what it
feel
is?
like they touch the heavens.
It's your Wi-Fi signal.
No, I think, and I think now with this quote awakening, you just become more comfortable in yourself, and the more that you study yourself, especially through astrology, you, like you said, like you understand why you feel the way that you do about anything, about everything.
You think people are comfortable with it? You said you get more comfortable with yourself. I think people are uncomfortable
I
because
actually got more comfortable with myself.
I think
I
if
gained
you,
more confidence
if
in
you
myself.
embrace it, yeah. But
Yeah.
there's people that feel that discomfort of being different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what draws
But
them.
they're not different though. That's the thing.
But
People don't.
for the majority, out of the majority, yeah, they are different. For the majority right now of people, because the majority of people gravitate towards a certain religion, and
Yeah.
that religion points fingers. Like, you can't do that because that's not in this book. That's not a part of this religion.
Yeah.
And people are born into religions. They don't have the choice.
Yeah.
But once they experience spirituality, they realize they have the choice, but they're often too afraid to make that choice
Yeah.
because they'll get exiled from family, friends groups, and
It's just their own social circle, though. It's
in general,
not,
like everything, yeah, because you become a loner. You know, when you're in your awakening, you don't hang out with people. You don't go out no more and anything. I
yeah,
don't.
because it's your circle, though. It's not. Your people feel different or weird or whatever, but it's not because you're different, because you're not. It is because of the circle you're
But
around.
you are different. You do vibrate differently.
Well,
Your
you're not, you
frequency
gotta
is
let me
different.
finish the statement.
Go ahead now. You talking
Dang.
too slow. Shit. Can turn on them fire signs.
No,
Let's get it.
because this is the teacher me breaking it down. You
I
are
wasn't a good
different.
student. I interrupted teachers.
You are different within your circle of friends, family, whatever, but you are not different from everyone. Meaning, if you are a Pisces and you understand what Pisces energy is, whatever it may be, the creativity, the spirituality, whatever, just whatever, there's a bazillion Pisces around here.
Ain't that many.
If you understand what that is at its core, you know that there's plenty of people who are like that. It is just within your circle that you're not surrounded by the energy of people who are aware. So that's why you feel different.
But even if you are surrounded by, let's say I'm surrounded by a bunch of Pisces, there's Pisces that are asleep. They don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can be with your Aquarius, so you can be surrounded by a bunch of Aquarius and feel foreign.
Oh no, I know they're all different, but I'm
Because-
talking about there are people who have these feelings of like, I know religion's not right. I know whatever. I know the church doesn't resonate with me. There are a lot of people like that. They just don't know where they're at. There are always, I always give people, I need to find my tribe. I need to find people who are like me.
Yeah.
They're everywhere. That's what I'm trying to say. You're not alone and you're not different.
They're everywhere, but when it comes
People gotta
to
speak up,
when it
though.
comes to the total population, because they dumb people down so much and made them rely on religion and government and everything else external that they're afraid to go within and find themselves. So there's a very small population, only a remnant. And
Yeah.
the Bible speaks on this too. I forget what verse it is. And first of all, me coming into awareness and realizing my purpose again, my multiple purposes, and going back to the Bible and hearing it, only a remnant of my people will come back. A remnant, a very small percentage of people. So there is, in total world, billions of people, there's only a very small percentage of us that are like this. And those are the people that might be subscribing or might be watching now. Even people that are curious, they're going to be too afraid to take that step over into this side.
Yeah.
Because of what people may think of them.
Yeah,
You know,
and
what
so-
society may think of them, and like living outside of the norm. You could live in it, but not be of it.
And that's why I'm here, to teach people how to stand up for themselves and just say it. Because a lot of times I've gotten several messages of like, how do you just, talk about it? Or I'm really into this. And, I just want to say it. Or I'm like, just say it. Just speak. Look at you, just on the phone.
No, I'm listening. I'm listening. They don't know how to say it.
I'm giving the office stare, like the
What's
office,
that?
like
Oh, look, the camera doesn't zoom in though. See, I can multitask. See, that's what my teachers didn't understand. You know what I'm saying? I could be a daydreamer and still hear everything that you're saying.
Anyways, so what would you say has been the biggest, I would say, like obstacle or hurdle or something when it comes to you being awake or aware and the people that you're around, maybe your family or whatever? Like, did you ever have to deal with something, I want to say like dramatic, like because maybe you were the only person who had more, I don't say knowledge. It's not even knowledge. It's just like you just have a different perception of everything. So was like you feeling ostracized, or has it been hard? Because some people it's easy; they're kind of
Yeah,
surrounded by it,
yeah,
and for some, they get shunned by their family.
yeah, yeah. The biggest obstacle,
Yeah, like
really,
you go to church.
really just wanting them to wake up, and to become aware and to meet me where I'm at, so we can all go on together, instead of me having to lead the way and pull them. But I was born to lead and do this. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the biggest obstacle. Nobody really rejected my thoughts. They had things to say like, "Are you sure about this?" and whatever like that. But I'm fortunate enough to where my intermediate family now is following. Back when I was married, it was an issue. My ex-wife was really into the church, and I kind of walked away from the church back then based off our belief system. Now, neither one was wrong. Bible Christianity really doesn't tell you to do wrong. It really doesn't. There's a lot of good stuff in that book, but I think it limits your view of the Creator and who you are and your connection with the Creator, knowing that you are a piece of that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So when I found that, I'm like, well, they're kind of lying to us about things. Like, why
yeah,
are we going to this place and listening to this guy up here that's no better than me, that's coming right out the same book, talking about the same book that I have, and this book, and nobody in the Bible had the Bible. So these thoughts are something that come to my head. The thoughts of, why did they have to beat this into people if it was so good?
yeah,
Why they
yeah,
have to do that? And so many other thoughts came about it. That I started doing my research on it. I'm like, this ain't what they say it is.
yeah,
This ain't the original text. So the biggest hurdle for me was dealing with the original anxiety of stepping away. There was a little anxiety with it because everything you've been taught your whole life has been fabricated. It's been kind of like a lie. So it's like, am I ready to do this? But you can't turn away. You can't go back to sleep once you
no,
are there.
you cannot. And that's what I was going to ask about, because once you become aware, you just keep being more aware. Like there,
Yeah.
it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and then, you know, that's why I tell. I mean, I honestly, I don't believe that it's for everyone who can mentally handle.
It's tough. Yeah.
I want to say being lied to, or their idea of whatever, like we we were watching something about Christians and what they really believe about these major topics when it comes to, sex before marriage and all these things like that, and people feeling shame or guilt or whatever, that is it really wrong? Religion has made people feel really guilty about even the smallest things, like the
Yeah.
traditional roles of man and woman,
Yeah.
and then, a man feeling like if she doesn't do XYZ, then she's going to be a terrible wife and,
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So that's where with astrology, it helps people understand why they might not gravitate towards what religion says is right or wrong. And that's why I was saying it made me feel more comfortable with how I feel about certain topics. And also, it's changed my perception of how I used to believe when I was in the church about a lot of stuff. And I say on all my YouTube videos, I was Judge Judy, okay? Judge Judy about like just a lot of stuff, And now I just look at everything like that's just literally how they are. And that's how they're wired. And there's really nothing you can do about it unless, it's something crazy like people who, I don't know, being mad all the time. And, people got to learn how to chill, but
I mean,
there's no perfect person. There's no right
no,
or wrong.
there's no perfect person. And I think where people that are, I guess, woke or awake, and why they still don't necessarily trust astrology is because now people start to use astrology as an excuse for the behavior. You
Yeah.
know, it's there to make you aware of your power, and now you can use it for sun or shadow, the good or bad. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? But a lot of people choose to fall to that carnal, to that fleshy part of them, and choose the other instead of using it to help uplift each other, to help define somebody, to help teach, help learn. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? But nobody's perfect. Again, like a manipulator can use that to lead people, or can use to take advantage of people in a negative way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like some of the greatest leaders in the world, good or bad, were great manipulators. They had good manipulative energy. That's how you get people to do stuff. You
And
know?
it's all perception.
Yeah.
And so that's why when I talk to clients, like I try to make them comfortable in understanding that their decisions that they make, there's no right or wrong. You just you're given awareness of maybe why you made that decision. And so there are people who, like I had somebody on my TikTok today that was like, I ain't gonna have nobody tell me who I am. Like talking about, I'm not gonna see an astrologer. I use Chat GPT. And I'm like,
They'd rather have a machine tell them.
they'd rather have a computer tell
Yeah,
them.
it's now they were starting to trust machines more
Which,
than
like,
people,
yeah, and
and that's kind of scary in a way, you know.
I don't tell people who they are. I ask people questions. I'm like, okay, and usually they will have already come to me with the issue or what they want to talk about or whatever, and then I just say like, oh, it's most likely coming from this energy. That means this, and it can mean this. But I'm not going to sit here and say you are this, you are that. That's not how it works. I don't know how other astrologers talk to people,
Yeah,
but I know that I'm like, okay, like let's say with career, I tell people, well, what would you like to do? What's the ultimate dream job you'd have? Okay, I would want to do this, this, this. I'm like, well, yeah, that is Libra energy. That's Taurus energy. You know, that's where that's coming from. But I'm not
yeah,
gonna say you are a designer because you
yeah,
are a Pisces.
yeah.
You know,
It's not 100% set in stone when it
no,
comes to exact behavior or exact prediction. I don't think you should be predicting anyway.
no,
Now you can kind of predict the energy, not really prediction, because it's gonna happen.
yeah,
The planets are gonna move
yeah.
regardless. It's not predicting. It's
It
clear
just
what it is.
is.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is what it is. That's the energy that's going to be around. You know, everybody know in Mercury retrograde, people from the past might come back, communication going to be altered, technology. That's just something you know what is. It's not predictions.
yeah,
Prediction is more like, oh, during this day and this time, you're going to have this happen. You're going to meet this person. Like, no, you don't
yeah,
know that. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? You don't know. Um,
Yeah, I've
so I
seen
think that
so many.
I think that's what turns people off from astrology
Yeah.
because these apps are telling them something, and they having this expectation, and it doesn't happen. You know,
Yeah.
now they say, "Oh, this shit's fake." No, it's not fake. It's more about energy and behavior, and you being aware of
Yeah.
yourself first,
Yeah.
and then everything around you. And once you have that heightened awareness, when you feel that energy come on, you know what to do with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people don't even know what to do with the energy when it comes around. They don't know what to do when the X hits them up during Mercury retrograde.
Yeah.
They just think, oh, they still love me. And they're like, no, it's Mercury retrograde. It's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like a test. It's like a
Yeah.
test. You're being tested all the time. But, you know, with I say the predictions, and like you said, people look at it, they'll hear something, they'll be like, that didn't happen, it's not true, it's not real, whatever.
Yeah.
No, there's no 100%, but yes, you can feel an energy. If you do know that something's gonna last longer than it, you know, whatever. You can give somebody like a time period, like, hey, you know, for this, you might feel like this for a little while, but I've never tell anybody this will happen because again, you don't know.
Yeah.
And I hate that sometimes it's written like that. And I think that some people also write it like that so that they can have that I would say like feeling of like I was right. I know.
Yeah.
So when you read something and it says, Scorpio, you will experience this, and then when it happens, you'll be like, I see, I told you.
Yeah, you see it all the time on fucking on YouTube. It's all clickbait.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh
It's just to
yeah,
get the
yeah,
clicks.
yeah, yeah.
Like I don't know, Aries risings. You know, your predictions for so and so, and like you don't know that.
Yeah.
You know how many Aries risings are in this world? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now
And-
you can let them know the energy that's going to be around there, but
Yeah.
you don't know exactly what's going to be happening to
Yeah.
your life, and people fall victim to that. They fall in and they click in based off that, hope dealing.
Yeah.
They're no better than the preachers inside
The
the church.
church, yeah.
Hope dealing on people. You know what I'm saying? Now they got their investment. Now they're invested into it. You know what I'm saying? What kind of spirits?
What is that?
I don't know. The door is open. The wind is blowing.
I thought somebody was trying to open the door, and I was about to have to embrace the fire in me
I think that's telling me to go get something to eat. We might have
and
to
go
cut
over
this
there.
short real quick. You know what I'm saying?
No, not yet, not yet, not yet.
But not like I said, they're no clickbaiters are no better than the hope dealers in the churches and stuff like that. So once you gain awareness, trust yourself with it. You know,
Yeah.
that's
I do like to, because I do like to kind of listen to people's interpretations, just because and I always tell people, I'm not the gatekeeper of all knowledge. Knowledge is everywhere, but does everyone have the understanding that I do when I read things? No. There's the reason why certain people are gifted with what they have, the ability to read a lot. The comprehension is not there for a lot of people, so a lot of people do need someone to like literally tell them, what does this mean? Because it's not there for everyone. But I do like to listen to interpretations, just again to kind of see like, okay, these things might possibly happen, but there's been things that I have read about certain placements, transits, whatever, that literally have never happened. Like, it did not play out. It'd be like, during these 2 years, this is going to happen. And I'm like,
yeah. You can look back.
that did not happen at all.
Yeah, you can look back at your own chart and say,
Yeah.
well, that didn't happen then, but this did.
Yeah.
It's like, so it's not 100% spot on. So like I said, it's more so for astrology. It's more so for you to be more in tune with yourself.
Yeah.
Recognize your gifts. And recognize the things that you need to work on. That's the whole reason why there's sextiles, trines, squares, oppositions. Squares are things that you need to work on, obviously. You're going to find obstacles in those areas. They're going to tell you specifically what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But it's for something that you can overcome and for you to work on. Opposition, it's going to be challenges in that area. So just watch out.
You're literal ops.
Yeah. Then you got trines and sextiles, which works more in harmony, but those can also be used as bad also too. People just think, oh, I got a lot of trines and sextiles, everything will be given to me. Yeah, but you ain't gonna know shit.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to work with it.
Yeah. And these are aspects in your birth chart. We'll see all these symbols, and when people open up a chart, they'll see all these symbols and triangles and asterisks and all that. That helps you determine, are things going to be more challenging in what area? Some people have very challenging lives in general. Like I had a friend growing up who, oh my gosh, like every time she just be always going through something, and it would just be like very dramatic.
Yeah.
Not something like, oh, I made a 0 on my test. It'd be like, oh, all my tires blew out. Oh,
zeros.
like just
All at one time.
craziness that I'm like, what?
Riding on them spokes.
I mean, I'm not gonna say her birthday, but her birthday just kind of gives it away now that I'm like, oh my gosh, like, how are you always going through something? But again, you can see all those things and kind of help people understand that, one, it's not your fault. Like, you're not doing something wrong.
Yeah.
That's just kind of something that just is going to happen. So.
But if you're aware of it, you would have known to get some new tires.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you would know. Like,
maybe I need to get some new tires, or I know I might have some minor car issues going on. Make sure this thing stays tuned up. Get my oil changes.
yes.
Whatever like that.
Yes. I feel like it gives you kind of like a leg up. Because yes, if you are somebody who's prone to speeding tickets and the cops always pulling you over, you always got to make sure that you got everything handled,
Yeah.
and you won't go in like, oh, I'm finna get away. They ain't gonna catch me. They ain't gonna whatever. No, you need to take care of everything. Maybe somebody else can get away with it, but
Yeah.
So that's kind of thing. But I did want to ask also, like, do you think your relationships with people have been gotten closer or kind of separated now that you're aware of just everything?
Oh, that's a good question.
It is a good question.
I think it helped define the relationships a little bit more to where I know how to move around them based off what I know about their energy. They might not know it about themselves,
Yeah.
but I know it about them, so I won't judge them as much. And like, why won't this person just move and do this? And well, they're Cancer, they're homebodies, they want to do this. So now I can help them operate in their energy. You know what I'm saying? Okay, they're a homebody, let's do this at home. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different feel now. Now I know to go about it. But yeah, just not learning how to maneuver around and with my energy. I know I can be, you know, very judgy at times, and talkative or preachy in a way. So I'm like, damn, I'm talking too much. Probably like right now, just like shut up, Julian. Like,
I
calm
just let
down,
people
let him
talk,
talk.
when you got Aquarius energy,
Yeah, not Aquarius, Mercury. Once you get excited about something,
your
yeah,
communication
jabber
sign is in
jaws,
an air sign.
jabber fucking jaws, yo.
Chit
Yeah,
chatty.
astrology is good though, but it's one of the many tools here for us to stay connected with Source, with the universal creator, with God, whatever you want to call it. One out of many tools here, And that's what I think is so beautiful is discovering or rediscovering these tools here. I'm looking into metaphysics now with from Dr. Delbert Blair, and that's opening up a whole new area for me. It was like, wow, this is amazing. Because he talks about astrology too, but again, he mentioned that's just one. You know how many there are of tools for it to connect you with Source, for you to fully maneuver in this realm properly, and to make things work better for you.
Yeah.
To have a less challenging life. Now you'll still face challenges, but you'll know not in the big picture of things, that's all a part of the game.
Yeah.
You won't take it as personal.
Yep. That's another big thing too that I talk to people about is
Yeah.
not taking stuff personal because like I said, like using that example of air signs are the communicators of the zodiac. And so I have actually met a Gemini like 2 weeks ago. And, I was kind of telling her what Gemini was or whatever. And I was like, oh, it's an air sign, a communication sign. And she was like, oh my gosh, I've been told I just like to hear the sound of my own voice.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, let's say if that offends you or it offended you that somebody thinks you talk too much. You don't talk too much in the sense of like there's something wrong with that. You just take that energy and you go talk to another air sign who understands communication. And so that's why I was saying it makes you more confident in who you are, because whether it is something like chatting or the aggressiveness of people who are fire dominant. Other people can look at that, oh my gosh, you're so intense, you're so mean, you're so that. But sometimes it takes people like that in order for others to move, in order for others to make a decision, in order for others to get it, that there's nothing wrong with being abrasive sometimes. So it's letting people know that you are, whether you think it's like positive or not, you are teaching somebody something in every situation that you're in.
Let me ask you this. What do you feel about arranged marriages? I used to be like, hell no, but now, if you're following the proper system, it could work. So somebody mentioned something, I think I don't know if it was Pop the Balloon or something, they said, here in America, we have marriage all wrong. Y'all stupid. Y'all think marriage is about love. It's not about love. And the older, I used to be married, and the more the more mature I get, it's like marriage ain't necessarily about that romantic love. That's what they said. It wasn't about romantic love. I think I was watching one of those African on the cruise channel debates.
Yeah.
And they said, yeah, it's not about romantic love. You got it all wrong. So I think arranged marriages work when it comes to your knowledge of astrology or whatever cultural system you use that's like astrology to know how these people would work together. Will y'all have a romantic love? I don't know. I can't
But how
tell
are
you.
they partnering them up too?
Yeah,
though?
how are they partnering up based off that, based off communication, based off of riches or whatever, physical abilities. Whether like, are these people there when they have kids, they'll be like this.
Some people do that. Some people are like, there was a guy on Pop the Balloon who popped it because the girl was short. He said, when
Yeah.
I want tall kids, like I
Yeah.
want a tall woman.
Yeah.
I've heard that before.
Now you can't completely control it if you don't know what was in your gene before that, but
Yeah.
the chances are
Yeah.
you're probably gonna have a taller kid.
Yeah.
Will it be as tall as you now? But it'll be taller than the average person.
Yeah.
So
So you're asking me what are my thoughts on it?
yes. What are your thoughts on arranged marriages and using these tools? Do you think it's right? And should we bring that back into our culture, or what?
I think that, well, a couple of things. I mean, if the creator has somebody for you, they're just going to be for you for that time. But if you had control over it, of course, it'd be a great tool. So you could save time on somebody telling you, I don't like how you do this thing. If you know that both of y'all like that thing or whatever, or you could help the other. I mean, yeah, it'd be good. But at the same time, I always tell people that You're in people's lives to teach them something. And whether y'all are total opposites, you're still learning from them. And it's good for you because you probably lack that thing that they're teaching you. So I always use this simple example of like couples who fight over like laundry and like, cleanliness, or like the stereotypical, like the man is so messy and he leaves his clothes everywhere and the woman gets mad at it. Well, the woman could be so uppity about that. She needs to learn how to relax and learn how it's okay to have a sock on the ground. Like, it's not going to hurt you. It's not hurting anybody. But the man at the same time is learning how to tighten up, be a little bit cleaner, be a little bit more tidy. So you're finding balance in the two. It's aggravating, but at the same time, if you know their alignment, so you let things go too. You don't start a fight every single time. You just say, oh my gosh, this is this energy, and you let it go. And I feel like it will create more peace and harmony.
Okay. Now, part two of this question here before the camera gets too hot and goes out. So, arranged marriages. I know a person, I know somebody that their parents had an arranged marriage. Their parents haven't lived together, I think, in 15 to 20 years because they have separate romantic partners, but they're still technically married. They got married because they work well together. They created this person, which is super successful. So they don't feel anything wrong with what they're doing because romantically they're not compatible, but everywhere else they are. How do you feel about that?
They're staying together because
They don't live together anymore. They haven't lived together.
but they're
15 to 20
technically
years.
married on paper.
Yes, yeah.
And maybe they don't want to split because of the paperwork and
No,
what they'll lose, or more of like they just are good partners.
Because they're good partners. They still kind of work with each other. They don't live near each other, but they still call and stuff, work with each other to get forward with certain things. They're great
Do they
partners.
have like a business or something together?
No, they're just great partners when it comes to like decision making with the children and other stuff like that.
Oh.
Like after the children were gone, they graduated and became super successful with whatever they did. I'm not gonna say that because you might look through my friends like, oh, you talking about this person? But they're super successful, so they did their job, and after their job was complete with the family, they went their separate ways romantically, but they still are the best of friends.
I mean,
but technically still married.
I mean, if that's what their ultimately their soul craves is real romantic love, then I mean that just is. You can't you don't want to force somebody to be with you if they don't want what you want.
So that's what arranged marriage is. So with arranged marriages, how would you arrange a marriage? Would you arrange it based off of their communication style, knowing that their physical style might not benefit each other, or would you try to find as many things as compatible as possible? But you can't get everything right.
No, you can't get everything. But I think also talking to both separately and saying like, what are the non-negotiables? Because again, you don't want to like just be suffering, every day with them. Like, what could you compromise on? Like because I've seen, and there was a big viral tweet from this lady who was like, I've been with my boyfriend for so long, and I've come to find peace with the fact that he's not romantic, but he does everything as far as like service-wise. She's like, I take these vitamins, and he's always like making sure that when I run out, they're already read up. I don't even have to say anything to him.
Love languages.
So, well, for him, it's like an act of service thing that he's not a romantic, but he takes care of everything else. So it's like, but in her head, she's like, I just want flowers. Like, because she would, somebody screenshot all her tweets where she would kept saying, I would just like some flowers. I would just like some flowers. And like, now whether he sees these tweets or not, I don't know. But some people were like, well, man, why doesn't he just do it? Because that's what she really craves, just like a flower, every once in a while.
Yeah.
But then some people are like, but that's not him. And so in my head, I'm like, I understand both sides. You don't want to do something that doesn't come natural to you. But at the same time, the whole point of partnership is compromise, and you do things sometimes that you don't want to do just because it makes the other person happy. But if you are receiving those flowers out of here, and it's not, I would say not sincere, and it doesn't come to them naturally, then what would be the point of that?
I get it.
So that's the part where it's like, she's like, I'm willing to just compromise on there's going to be no romance, but he does everything else correct. So you're going to have to sacrifice somewhere. No one's 100% perfect. as far as like how you want a relationship to be with somebody. There's going to be something that lacks.
I can elaborate on that, but I'm taking control of this podcast now, and I'm taking
Okay.
asking the questions. Part 3 of that question: would you allow somebody to arrange your marriage now, you know that it could possibly really work out with a top-notch astrologer or whatever system they use? Most likely going to be astrology because that's what you're into. Would you allow them to arrange your marriage now? Would you trust it?
Well, you'd have to desire the marriage first. I think if I desired marriage,
Well,
then
marriage partner or whatever like that.
like a
Yeah,
committed partner.
yeah.
Um,
Let's say marriage a little touchy.
is it like a blind date? Like, is it like you never seen them before? You
Yeah.
don't know what they look like?
Yeah, yeah.
I
Do
don't
looks
know.
matter when you know energies, though? That's the thing.
But with everybody's end, there's people who desire the physical too.
They
though.
wouldn't put you with that person. Like if they know, if they could see that in your chart somehow, they wouldn't put you with somebody that you want to be physically.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Like if
Well,
you
yeah.
if you're a female with fifth house fire placements, they're not going to put you with a man that's overweight. That doesn't work out.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So they're not going to do that.
Okay.
So you have to trust that that thing is going to.
I mean, I would trust it as far as if somebody really knew the system, knew the energies down to like their core, then yeah, because it's just like right there as far as like why Taurus love food.
You would trust that.
I would trust it. If
So-
somebody was really good at it, yes.
Yeah, like I wouldn't pair Taurus up probably with a fire sign female because she probably ain't cooking. I'll probably pair a Taurus male up with the Cancer female because she's gonna take care. She's gonna make sure she got a
Yeah.
nurturing spirit. She's gonna cook it up for you. You know.
Or somebody who likes to buy food and go out to eat all the time. Food can be a thing. What I'm saying, I understand what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying, though?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but so
yeah.
you know the energy. But you can only match up so many things.
Yeah, yeah. So you have to like.
So what are the main things that you
have to,
want?
like, I'm coming up with something right here. I don't want to
Okay.
put my ideas out there, but
Well, they
there
do
could be
that.
a system to where
There
you can
is,
figure
but
out the non-negotiables and like, okay,
they
got
do
it.
that in like India. They do arrange
yeah,
marriages
that's
with
what I'm saying.
astrology. They
Yeah.
do that. But I think too, like I said, sometimes you just get aligned with people, and whether it's somebody's choosing or not, or if you just happen to just run into them. So sometimes it will be based on just a feeling, I guess. But some people do rely on that. They will go to an astrologer and say, like, match me up with somebody. But I think everything is done for a reason. Like, it was supposed to happen that way anyways. Does that make sense?
I'm with that.
Yeah. Anyways,
So y'all heard it here first.
no, I wanted to ask you another question.
Contact Jaleesa Danielle if you're looking for love or looking for a partnership, whether it be in business, life partner, marriage, cheeks, whatever it may be. She knows the energies.
I do
She's
know
gonna
the
match you up with
energies.
the proper person. Yeah.
I wouldn't do matchmaking. What I
You
would
wouldn't do matchmaking?
No, I wouldn't
I'll
do.
do matchmaking.
I would do like a.
I'm confident in that.
I would do matchmaking as far as like dates, first dates, and then if it flourishes from there, then yes. But I wouldn't do like you must marry this person. I wouldn't do that.
Oh no.
No. I would set somebody up. I would set somebody up on a date based
Yeah.
off. Yeah, I would totally do that.
Just make that a service.
I would
on your
totally
website.
do that. I would totally love to like look at charts
Yeah.
and not look at the person, not look at the pictures, just
Yeah.
look at charts and say these two charts match. I would love to do that.
That'd be dope.
I would love to do that.
That'd be dope.
I would.
I don't know
But
if I'll trust you with mine though. You be like, yeah, this nigga. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you're a very difficult person.
yeah, I am.
But
I
I
don't know if I
will.
can trust you with that. You might try to send me over some boo boos or something like that. You know, it's like and try to say, well, that doesn't matter. It does matter.
Anyways, what advice? Because I'm gonna say wrapping up. What advice would you give somebody who's just kind of beginning their spiritual journey? Because it is going to sometimes, like I said, it can get out of hand, I would say.
Trust the timing of your life and stay present.
And everything happens the way it's supposed to happen.
Trust the timing of your life. Yeah.
Every decision is the right decision.
Every decision is the right decision because the decision that was already coded that was supposed to happen. So fucked up to think about, But
It
trust
is.
it and trust that it's going to work
In your
for
favor?
you and in your favor. Be present.
I like that. Well, I appreciate your conversation.
And we're going to have more of these. This ain't the only one. You act like I'm just a
This
visitor.
is episode 1.
Nah, I'm the co-host. Yo,
This
see,
is
that's what y'all not
actually.
understanding, yo.
Thanks to
The
my
front
guests.
brought to you by Fifth House,
Fifth
fifthhouse.shop.
House,
Go out there. I
yes.
got some new, some updated apparel coming here soon. I know some things they sold out. There's some things going on with the manufacturer or whatever like that. But within the next week or two, we're gonna have some new products up there for y'all to go into the fall and winter season with, and to bring in the new year 2025 looking amazing.
I love it. Well, I guess we're done with this for now.
Out.